that's just a quick picture of a new dinosaur head that we've got for the museum that's made up here in Brisbane. So John's going to store that until we've got a Queenslander travelling down to Tassie later in the year to save us a bit on freight. So that's going to be a great addition to the museum. But yeah, getting on to Queensland Museum, some fantastic dinosaur models there, and including the largest dinosaur ever found, Patago Titan, I think it was called, 38 meters or something from tip of tail to nose. And John's standing next to that one there with his hand on it there. Probably illegal, John.
No, I didn't touch it.
Oh, I didn't touch it, you reckon? Okay, so that's it there. So one of the things that they were really presenting there was feathers on dinosaurs, and by the end of it, the blood pressure was up a little bit because they were presenting this as fact. But this is actually, I think John shared this one a few weeks ago, the feathered velociraptor at the model making place that we went to, and they make that because places like these museums are requesting them, even though velociraptors have never been found with feathers. In fact, we found this little kids book in the gift shop at the museum, and what it says in it there is your velociraptor will grow into an adult quite quickly. It will keep its feathers as it grows up. So even to the little children, they're presenting this whole idea that the velociraptors had feathers, even though, as our new sign that we've got for the Brisbane Museum shows the actual cast, what they've actually found, and they don't.
That's our Discovery Centre display, isn't it?
Yeah. The Brisbane Creation Discovery Centre has got a great sign, and I'm not sure if you'll bring that up later, but this is a new cast. I'll slip that in before John's had a chance, but that arrived during the week, and that's a fantastic cast of a velociraptor as they're found, again with no feathers and in that drowning pose with the head kicked back and the tail bent over. So that's going to be a great addition for the museum up here as well. But they don't hesitate at all throughout the whole display. They're pushing the fact that dinosaurs evolved into birds. And here's one of the quotes on one of the signs, that one dinosaur group that survived and still with us today are birds. So they're calling birds dinosaurs very openly in this day and age. So there's some of the pictures that they found. So they're never found like that. And in particular, with all that sort of downy fluff that they're trying to put over the entire body. So yes, there's been strands found on like Sinosauropteryx, isn't it? And so on. But, you know, they're collagen fibres and protein fibres breaking down rather than feathers. And here's another picture of Condoraptor. And the sign that was associated with it said that and admitted that fossil remains are actually scarce of these dinosaurs, and yet this one's one of the most complete ones from the Middle Jurassic period. So they don't have a lot of evidence to work with at all with these things, and they're really making up. Now, this one really intrigued us, this model that we both bought in the gift shop, because we thought that they'd be a great example to put in the museum just to show the ways that people are being deceived, especially the children. You see that it's given a chicken-like body, even though this thing was as high as 7 meters tall. But the Natural History Museum has said that this creature is actually only known from the forelimbs, and here's a picture of that. And they admit that the reconstructions that people are doing are mostly guesswork. Certainly no feathers, and yet, as we look, there's feathers on the arms, feathers on the top of the head, and so on in this creature in the model. So it can make you a little bit frustrated sometimes when you're reading these things. Now, regarding what you do actually find on dinosaur skins, they did, in the fossil record, they did actually have this display, and note that it's very rare to find anything preserved on a dinosaur's body surface. So This particular one, which is in the group that supposedly evolved into birds, they found scales, of course, and dinosaurs are never found with feathers. And here's the Carnosaur, and you can see how confident they are with some of the statements they're making. It is well known that some of these theropods would have possessed feathers, which I don't know what the term for that is in English, but when you say it's well known that they would have. Yeah. In fact, they say that the theropods possess feathers similar to the plumage of newborn chicks. So we went and looked up what the plumage looks like on newborn chicks, and you can see it there, and it's absolutely nothing like the limited protein breakdown that you do actually find in the fossil record. So all in all, it was a fairly frustrating thing to say, and that's what we'll always continue to push in our programs and everything that we do, is that God created things according to their kind, and that in fact birds were created before dinosaurs in the creation week. So they certainly didn't evolve from them.
I had to calm Craig down quite a bit in that display. And the thing that was really intriguing, I mean, it was beautifully, give them full credit marks for display, but I think we would have seen maybe a dozen or so fossils, just individual bones or things like that. But the models were incredible, and that's what they were. They were fiberglass models, in the case of the big one, reinforced with steel rods, because they had a video there of them manufacturing this gigantic titanosaur with David Attenborough walking in, catching sight of it and saying, God. Well, that is his God. Nature, change, evolution, sadly. So continue to pray for that guy. He needs to know the real God and creator, not just man who creates the lies of evolution.